Morning, everybody. So if you watched the last video, I brought the fertilizer pump here, or fertilizer tank, hooked up the pump, bled the system, everything seemed to be going good. Come to find out, everything was not in fact good. It is now Thursday the 29th. I think that was Monday I brought that out here. And now I'm getting a phone call. Oh, it's Big Chief. We haven't pumped any fertilizer. The pump's been running, but my thought is the check valve is stuck. And since we do this very rarely and haven't done it for the last couple of years, sorry. You gotta watch where you step around here. I just stepped on a snake hole and then I saw sand move over there. Well, this is rattlesnake area out here. Aaron, my brother-in-law, who does the irrigating on the farms out here, not this field, on the other side. We're irrigating that, we had problems. He's always talking about finding rattlesnakes out here. But anyways, I'm getting distracted. What I'm doing now is draining the system to take pressure off of the check valve so I can take it out and go find a new one. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna crank that open. Let's get this draining faster and then see what we got in there. Okay, so here is the check valve. I have zero idea what I'm looking at. This is our only pivot that has one. Fumigation, or not fumigation, fertigation, which is where you put fertilizer through your irrigation, is something we need to do a lot more of. But cost to benefit wise, it's hard to justify. I mean, we got 100 acres of wheat over there that we're going to bale or chop. It needs nitrogen, but with the price of nitrogen, you know, it's $390 per ton of liquid nitrogen, 3200, which means 32% nitrogen. And it's a big bill to put on fertilizer. And since this is the only pivot we have that we do this currently, neither Bart nor I really know what we're doing here, because I called him and he goes, hell, I really don't know what to tell you. So bled the system, I took that out. I'm gonna run out to the shop and see if I can figure out how in the hell the check valve works. It's been a bit of a hectic morning, to say the least. Basically it's 11 o'clock and my main part of my morning has been working on that pivot. I've got the check valve fixed. I'm headed back in there now. I'll show you more of that whenever I get there. But also, we were supposed to have an insurance meeting, so I got a bunch of paperwork done last night, but they couldn't make it today. So I gave Dad all the paperwork because I was trying to get back out here for the meeting, not knowing it had already been canceled. And Bart and Glenn are getting the planter hooked up, and I'm basically the only one around here who knows how to run it, just because I'm the one who does the corn planting. So Bart was calling me with a bunch of questions, so I was trying to get out there. Oh, I saw something. So I was trying to get out there to help them, show them what all needed done to get it up and ready. But now I'm headed back to the pivot, and I'm also taking some of John Deere's special tools back. So in the last video I talked about Sunday I was disc ripping, and on the big 8360R that we have, the front drive line, the seals went out, or the U-joint went out. We had to replace the drive shaft on the one side. Well, luck we have it, Tuesday Maddie was driving the 245R and it happened on that one. So twice now this week we've had to strip apart that front end on them tractors. And of course it takes special tools, so this is one of the bearing drivers for one side, and then this pipe is the bearing driver for the other side. It's frustrating that you have to do that. It seems like about every 2 years. Talking to the Deere mechanic, he said it's a pretty common thing. He's done quite a few of them. You can do it in about an hour in the shop if you've got the tools, you know, and it's a fairly simple thing. It's just tedious and kind of a pain. You got just the stuff you got to do. It's kind of aggravating. So So it got Bart and I debating on, well, what's better, having that suspension on the tractor that makes them ride so much better, or going back to a fixed front axle with a crazy rough ride in comparison, and not having the drive lines the same way. It's kind of half in one, or 6 in one, half dozen in the other type of deal. So yeah, I'm gonna drop off these bearing or seal drivers and then get back to that pivot, show you guys what was wrong with the check valve, and hopefully get the fertilizer pump running correctly after 3 days of not running. Trying to block the wind, so hopefully you guys can hear me. So this is the check valve. This is where the fertilizer comes in, goes through here, and comes out these holes because it pushes. There's a plunger. No, I don't even think you can see it through the shadow. So there's basically a rubber plunger in there that pushes on this spring. And the problem was this spring was, or the rod that goes through was seized up like that, to where I think it was just barely letting the smallest little trickle go by instead of actually compressing all the way. So I'm going to screw that back in, put a little thread tape on that, put her back together, and pray. Okay, everything's hooked up. Close the valve, kick that guy on. Oh, that sounds so much better. You see, it's coming out in pumps now instead of a constant stream, so that tells me I can hear it. Yes! Alright, take my nasty glove off. You can't even see this. Hit start, apply, step away from the pump, it should kick on. There we go. We are in business. Finally. Alright, now I gotta reset this because I got it pumping 100%. Gotta crank that way down. There's 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, and 11. So 3 days from now, that should be completely empty. And the problem was, well, a lot of things. One, we don't do this that often, like I was saying, so I didn't recognize the different pitch in the pump. Let me get over here out of the wind. So I didn't recognize the different pitches in the pump to know that there was a problem. I did not look inside the tank before I started pumping to know the true level on it. And as you can see, it's a green tank, so you can't see the level from the outside, but 500 gallon, I was like, all right, let's just get it going. I tried to come back Tuesday, or my plan was to come back Tuesday afternoon, because that would have been 24 hours to see where it was at, but I was hauling cattle. Oh, it's the air vent, because now I got to reprime the whole system. Got scared someone was about to blow up. But so I didn't come out Tuesday, so I came out yesterday morning and I go, well, I got no reference to know where it actually was. So I looked in the tank and I could tell where it was. Changed the pump setting to try and get it going a little faster because I knew it wasn't putting out enough. Came back this morning and it hadn't changed. Yeah, so it was my screw up, but it is what it is. The wheat needed watered anyway, so now we'll go around one more time and see what we got. Okay guys, so we just got done branding cattle. We had 60 head to brand after lunch. They were a little nutty, but it went okay. Now, as you can see, I'm back in the chemical shed. Just picked up, stare down. Wait, let me see, over there. 50 gallon of that because I'm gonna start using that hopefully tomorrow spraying. And yesterday, I think everything I need to finish this project is here. So I got all my upper elbow parts. That'll go up here. I got my 45s in there. And I got the hose barbs for everything over there. I guess I can take 2 seconds to walk over here and show you. So I got a hose barb on that end. So this will just be a little hose here. I'll figure out a way to hook it up there. So those are ready. Now I just got to make a bunch of hoses out of this roll of black hose I got here. Check it out, guys. This bad boy is functional. So I've got my 2 pumps like I showed you. It goes through the pump, down across. Got the hoses going up, across. I might change the positioning of the valves because it's kind of bulky to reach over there. But bingo, those are there. That goes that way. I'm not in a big hurry to get this done with these totes because one, that tote is empty. Oh, I guess I should look up. So that tote is empty. I need to get a new tote of atrazine before we get into corn and feed, which will be just a little bit yet. So I've got a little bit of time to get that tank put here, get that guy mounted on, and get my 2 hoses made that are back there. Then you come over here to the chemicals. I just kind of use a jug here and there of. So I got my Synergize. Boom, easy fill, pour. Bring my jug over. So nice and easy, just boom right there. And then I can hang this up out of the way. Those are the brackets that I had chemical hoses running on for the last couple of years when this one had all the pumps on it over there. That's how I ran my chemical hoses, was right along the bottom side of that. But yeah, I'm kind of thrilled that this project is all but done. I think Bart is too, because now I can take all his tools back. So, let's run to the shop, take a look at the corn planter. Yeah, I said corn planter. Bart and Glenn started hooking it up this morning. We kind of went over a few things when I stopped by there this morning, and I think they've got it about ready to rock and roll. There it is. Our planting setup since 2015. John Deere 8245R and a red. Yes, I said red. Case IH 1235 16-row stack fold planter. I love this planter. My favorite thing about this one over the Deere we had previous is the closing setup. Instead of them V wheels that always seem to leave what we'd always call a dry slot to where it wouldn't pinch off real great. It's got these discs that kind of curve the opposite way to just kind of push the dirt in a little, and then this tire putting all the pressure on it. Oh man, I love how this has been working out. So Bart and Glenn, like I was saying, got this hooked up this morning. They went through checking bearings and stuff. Everything seemed to be in good shape. See one vacuum hose there unhooked. But everything seemed to be in good shape. They cleaned out the boxes, put the seed plates in under there. What else? Oh, and then we found the only problem we do have is our vacuum hose. So that is not going to hold a good vacuum. And you need the vacuum to hold the seed against the plates. Let me come out here to an outside one so you can see what I'm talking about. So the seed plates, well, let's start here. Put your seed in, goes through that little hole that was there in the bottom of the box, and that falls into what we'd call the seed plates. That is this disc in here. And you can see the little holes where each kernel hook sets up. This hose here is pulling a vacuum on it to hold the seed there. Then it goes past a brush, falls down, goes through the tube, plant it in the ground. And as Mike Bloomberg would say, it's just that simple. That's a quote that's never gonna die. So yeah, we really like this setup. It's worked great. It is very hard to get a red planter and a green tractor talking to each other. That is why, if you've ever noticed in that tractor, I got that other monitor up there. It is a, I don't even remember what model of case guidance monitor. It's a noisy one, but The other thing we do have going on is, as you can see by that cylinder there, got a little bit of an oil leak. Got to figure that out. Maybe pressure wash it up a little bit. Let me look in the shop. I think the big chief dropped off all the new hose for this a little bit ago. Maybe. Not seeing it. He went to get, oh, there it is. So we bought this planter in 2015, like I was saying. This is the second time we put hose on. Unfortunately, this thing spends its entire life outside because it doesn't fit inside any shed. And our sheds that we do have, our hay sheds as I call them, those are usually full of hay, so equipment that's going to stay in there year round just doesn't work out well. So this guy's spending its life outside, so the hose just wears out from weather. I mean, it's one of those things, it is what it is. And unfortunately we can't even work on it inside because folded up, this spaceship won't fit through that door. That is one thing that was pretty high on my wish list, was a new shed, but with the way steel prices have gone, and frankly everything, I mean, everyone feels it. The diesel costs, gasoline costs, grocery costs, steel, wood, everything. Everything's skyrocketed. But we're not allowed to call that inflation, right? Sorry, I had to get one jab in there. But, alright, I'm going to head home, go take a shower. I got a Farm Bureau meeting tonight, so catch you guys later. Have a good one, guys.